Hey y'all, and welcome back to Supper at the Family Table. Today's video is part of a collaboration hosted by my good friend Tiffany over at Small Town 6, and she hosts a monthly food challenge collab every month, and this month's theme is breakfast. So I'm going to share with you two really yummy breakfasts. One is one of our go-to breakfast bowls. We eat these a lot, lots of different variations. They're one of our go-tos, a big hit with the family. And then the second one is going to be a fun new recipe that I tried, French toast in a jar. So if you're coming over from the collab, thank you so much for watching. And if you are here, if you're from my channel, please be sure and go check out the collab. I'll have the whole playlist linked down below. And be sure and go check out Tiffany's channel, which I'll have linked down below as well. So let's get into the video. For the base of breakfast bowls, we always like to have rice, and so we do rice and some kind of veggie, and then a lot of times we have potatoes too, and people can either pick either or they can do both. But this day I didn't have any potatoes ready and I didn't want to wait, so I just quickly made up some rice instead. But we do both a lot. But today we really just do kind of whatever veggies we have lying around. So we have zucchini from the garden right now, we have corn from the garden. So I am chopping up some zucchini, and I'm going to cut some corn off the cob. I've got some peppers from our garden and from a friend's garden, and so I'm going to chop those up and put those in a cast iron skillet with some oil and saute those around until they are soft and tender, and then I'll add in my rice. So I'm going to add in leftover rice because I have some left over and already cooked, but if you don't, just cook some more rice and throw that in there. Now I'm going to do my sausage. So we usually do the Never Any chicken sausages, the breakfast ones. Those are really good. And a lot of times when I'm fixing this for a crowd, we'll do this all kind of in separate pans. So we'll do the rice and veggies in one pan, the potatoes in another, the egg in another, and then we'll fry up the sausage in another pan. I'm just making this for me today, and I'm just going to throw this right in with the rice, but how you do that is completely up to you. But it's great if you do want to feed a lot of people. If you can do like the rice in one pan and then even the veggies in another if you want to, then you'll have your potatoes, you'll have your egg, and then you will have your meat, and everybody can just kind of pick and choose what they want. Next, I'm just adding in my rice, and I'm just going to stir that around and let that cook until that gets nice and hot. You'll need to make sure that your pan don't get too dry, so you'll need some water or oil in there to keep it nice and moist. And then I'm going to add some really basic seasoning, some oregano, some paprika, some salt, some pepper, and some garlic powder, and just season that up real well and just let it cook until it's nice and warm. Now I'm going to scramble my eggs. So it's just me, so I'm just going to scramble like 2 eggs. So I'm just going to add my eggs, a little bit of milk, and scramble those up. To let my pan get nice and hot first, and then add in my butter and then my eggs. Now I'm going to build my bowls, so I'm going to start with my rice and veggies, and then I'm going to top it with my eggs and some shredded cheese. Some people like salsa on theirs, or sour cream, or Greek yogurt, especially if we have potatoes. So just kind of lay everything out and let everybody build their own bowl. Now I'm going to start working on the French toast in a jar. So this is a new recipe to me. It was super fun to try. So I'm going to start by cutting up some bread. This is about a third of a loaf, third to half a loaf, somewhere in there. But this is homemade bread, so this is actually a loaf part einkorn, part all-purpose that I made a couple days ago. And so I am just chopping that up into cubes. Now I'm going to start by cracking 2 eggs into the bowl. I'm going to add 2 cups of milk. You could also use almond milk. I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. You could also use sugar if you're not worried about it being refined sugar free. You're going to add 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and a couple tablespoons of melted butter, and you're going to whisk all that together. Now you're going to add your bread to your mason jars, and this recipe will make about 3 half-pint jars, and you just want to be sure that you pack your bread in there pretty tightly, otherwise it just doesn't work out as well. So try to press that in pretty tightly and distribute your bread evenly through your 3 jars. Now pour your custard mixture in your jar, and you want to do this slowly just to give it time to absorb and for everything to go down. If you need to poke some of the bread around, you may have to do that, but just do it slowly so it doesn't spill everywhere, and again, evenly distribute through your 3 jars. Now you want to put the lids on the jars, and you want to make sure they're tight, and then you will store them in the fridge upside down. So store them upside down in the fridge overnight, and so this is kind of nice. You can do all this prep the night before, pull them out, and have a really nice breakfast. They look really fancy too, and they're not hard to make. You could also, if you don't have that much time, you can do it for a couple of hours. Then you'll pull them out of the fridge. You will turn them right side up, take off the lid, put them on a baking sheet, and bake them at 375 for about 45 minutes, and then they turn out beautiful. They are so delicious, absolutely beautiful. Drizzle them with some maple syrup, and they are such a yummy breakfast or even dessert. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Check the description box for the recipe for the French toast in a jar, and don't forget to check out Tiffany's channel and the whole playlist of other ladies sharing delicious breakfast recipes. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a blessed day, y'all. Bye.